Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I do want to ask all of you out there, if you guys could hit that like button, it does help the YouTube algorithm greatly, and I, of course, always appreciate it. But with that in mind, today we are going to be talking about derivatives. So obviously, this is a market that's extremely large. You know, it has $600 trillion notional value. They have been looking at it. They've been saying 1.2 quadrillion. Then it was like 800 trillion. Now it's 600 trillion. Anywhere between 600 to 1.2 quadrillion dollars is essentially the area of interest on derivatives value. But as we do look at this, you know, I said, remember, it's all about derivative settlement. That's worth waiting for with XRP, because for the longest time, you know, this has been a market that we've talked about around the XRP community. The biggest problem that I see with this, though, is valuations tied to XRP when it comes to this. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, this could, you know, send XRP to $1,000 instantly. The biggest problem here is that this is not going to happen overnight, right? But I do think that it is worth waiting to see where XRP does go if it is implemented within the derivatives market. Now, with that in mind, this is also a market that is ripe for disruption, just like every other major market. We've talked about trade finance, we've talked about securities transactions, things like that. These are huge markets that are worth trillions of dollars. So as we really kind of look at that, yeah, you know, the derivatives market is one to really kind of look at, especially with how much value is tied to it. Now, of course, listen, we are in the tokenization revolution, if you will. Every single major player is looking at tokenization as a killer use case around blockchain. Not my word, that is JP Morgan's word, right? That's what they said. Tokenization is a killer use case around blockchain. And I think that they're really kind of realizing the value behind tokenization, because it's ushering in a lot of these markets into, of course, the digital age. It's upon us. The tokenization revolution is happening. And I think that as we really kind of look at this, we have to look and address what markets are going to be touched by tokenization. And like I've said, almost every single market, anything of value as well, will be touched by tokenization. The reason for this is because guess what? The efficiencies are unlike no other. I mean, everything around this is huge. We even see here that tokenization of real world assets like stocks, bonds, carbon credits, and more is fast becoming the driving force behind many of today's most innovative businesses. Because these assets are stored on a blockchain, the benefits of transaction speed, liquidity, cost savings, and round-the-clock access have made it one of fintech's most promising blockchain use cases. And again, like this is why we look at this and we say, well, you know, by 2030, how big is this market really going to be? Tokenization by itself has been, you know, predicted to be a $16 trillion industry by 2030, which is huge. But we do see down here another quote. A new visualization from the same report shows 80% believe the technology will significantly impact the trading of assets, real estate transactions, and derivatives and carbon markets. So again, like as we look at the derivatives market, yes, we should be looking at it heavily, especially around Ripple and XRP. Why? Well, because we do know that Ripple is on the ISDA. Ever since they joined the ISDA, there's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of talks around this. And ultimately speaking, I think I found a few things that are very interesting around this, connecting Ripple back to, of course, Finastra, which you guys know that they've been partnered for a while. But I also want to go over a few things that ISO 2022, let's do it, post it over on Twitter. Now, first and foremost, here you guys have ISDA launches standard definitions for digital asset derivatives. Now, we went over this initially when the ISDA did announce that Ripple was joining. But of course, when we looked into this, we didn't really we skimmed over it. We didn't really go in depth on it. One of the biggest things I do want to mention around this is this quote here, which is, the new definitions address the unique nature of digital assets settled on DLT and have been designed to be expandable over time. This work will be relevant to a wide range of digital assets executed on DLT, including tokenized securities. Like I said, securities transactions, we know from the DTCC, which they did just recently partner with Chainlink. They did a major experiment with some very large names, including Swift. We do know that the DTCC settles about roughly $2.4 quadrillion per year in securities transactions, which is a huge opportunity as well, which potentially have wide utility across the financial system. The innovative drafting style, which uses conditional settlements, can be translated into code means the definitions can be used more easily in DLT-based applications, creating significant efficiencies for market participants. And we do know that, listen, as we look at all of these major markets, the derivatives one is one of the most alluring ones simply because of the value behind it. But also, I think that we need to pay attention to some of the biggest names talking about DLT in such a great manner, considering the fact that ISDA is a huge global organization around this. And also, by the way, when we look at ISDA, let's go back to November of 2022. So this was November 22nd, 2022. And this is right around the same time that FTX was imploding. We do know that this report from the ISDA was January 26, 2023. Within this, they even do mention, of course, FTX. And they also talk about how, FTX, this situation, created an emphasized importance of having a clear, consistent contractual framework that spells out the rights and obligations of both parties following a default. Because again, this is really kind of proving that, hey, we need this, we need that. Let's have this in place before we go fully live with it in much larger markets, like, for example, derivatives, which again, like, it's one of the biggest things that we need to get past. Like, the obstacles around crypto is really kind of holding up a few things around adoption. But nonetheless, let's go back to November 22nd, 2022. Finastra onboards Fragmos Chain's blockchain platform for the digitization of over-the-counter derivatives post-trade. Now, this is a very interesting post, considering the fact that as we look at a lot of these blockchain platforms, there's many of them, right? The problem is that not all of them are extremely efficient. Not all of them are, tried, tested, and true, like, for example, Ripple with XRP. But one thing that I would love to go over within this is also them talking about the ISDA here. They also talk about API integrations and things like that. So first off, we do see today Finastra announced a collaboration with Fragmos Chain, a blockchain platform which digitizes interactions between financial institutions to provide Finastra customers with out-of-the-box integration with Finastra Summit, its over-the-counter derivatives market solution. The API-first integration via FusionFabric.cloud enables banks globally to digitize their OTC derivatives products to reduce the cost and risk associated with manual processes. Very interesting. And we do see our partnership with Finastra is transforming the way banks interoperate by digitizing the confirmation process of all derivatives, automating all post-trade processes and arduous documentation such as the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, and eliminating paper. We are helping banks to streamline their operations and trade efficiently and securely and reduce their risk, capital, and cost. We are excited to collaborate with Finastra and bring a value-added service to banks using its industry-leading capital markets software. Now, of course, with this, right, everyone's probably thinking, well, this is a new blockchain technology. This isn't even XRP. Like, how is this competing with XRP? Well, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this Fragmos chain. So if we actually go over to their website and we look at their solution, we do see decentralized platform for vanilla processing of complex derivatives. On this $600 trillion volume market, benefits are estimated between $4 and $7 billion for the financial industry. And here we have uncleared OTC derivatives concentrate post-trade pain. 66% of all operational costs and risk, 80% of counterparty risk capital for only 1% of trades. So this solution is a pretty big solution with, of course, ISDA. And I do question, what are they using in terms of their technology? Well, when you look into it, guess what? They're using Corda by R3, private ledger technology, private DLT. A private blockchain. Now, we already know with Corda, there's two specific assets tied to this, and I'm going to go over that here in a second. But first, I want to go over a few things. Let's go all the way back to 2016, where we've seen R3's Corda could become the future of derivative contracts. Interesting. Then we have 2018. R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda XRP, the first settlement mechanism, which if you actually look into this, here's their settler process. They actually utilized XRP as an example within this. And this is a big one, right? Like we've talked about this in the past a little bit. A lot of people think that this is not active anymore, which it could very well have failed, right? Like we already know that they also have a bridge now with XDC, which I will talk about here in a second. But we do see over here from June 29th, 2023. First uncleared crypto derivatives trades executed on clear markets regulated platform with risk managed on R3's Corda. Very interesting. And guess who was tied back to this? So the involvement of R3 and its distributed application platform Corda alongside industry partner SBI Group, a prominent player in the institutional crypto market. Now, of course, listen, do I need to give you guys an updated view on who SBI is? No, I don't. Because guess what? This is a group that has been a partner of Ripple's for a very long time, that even said that by 2025, almost all Japanese banks could essentially be utilizing XRP. We also do know that SBI just recently partnered with Zinfin, XDC, and it's interesting to see them tied back to this. It makes me wonder and question if XRP and XDC are going to be two leaders around derivative settlement. If that is the case, then I'm very happy to have both of these in my portfolio. Again, listen, it's unclear on what's really going to happen here. We're speculating still. But I'm rolling the dice and I'm holding both XRP and XDC because they're both very prominent players around SBI Group. They're not the only two tokens or projects, I should say, tied back to SBI Group, but they're two projects that they have talked about heavily. They even talk about the evolution of crypto derivatives here. They also talk about the challenges in the broader crypto markets that still need to be alleviated. But for the most part, I think it's pretty clear here that we are going to see the evolution of the derivatives market within crypto, DLT, and it's very exciting to see this. We also see from the ISDA chairman adding R3's flagship platform, Corda, played a major role by sharing trade data and collateral information and moving collateral in real time with security and appropriate transparency among counterparties, custodians, and other relevant parties. And yeah, listen, like this is a big game changer. And we even see here from SBI Group, they played a leading role as a counterparty in these groundbreaking trades, and its involvement highlights the growing interest and participation of institutional players in the crypto space. Again, like I want you guys to understand that we are at a pivotal moment in time around DLT, digitization, tokenization of almost every single major market. And this is one market that I've been heavily focused on, obviously because of the price behind it. But also, as we really kind of look at what's going on, it's clear the winners, in my opinion, have already kind of showed themselves, right? I do think that XRP, XDC as well, are two major players. XLM, obviously, we've talked about HBAR, Casper, many other ones. But XDC and XRP are the only two major ones tied back with R3 Corda, from what I've found, that are really kind of the big players. We even see over here just recently from May 8th, 2023, it got updated, going all the way back to March of 2021 is when we first seen this. This is R3 Corda now has a bridge to public blockchains with arrival of Ethereum-based XDC. So listen, like I said, I'm betting big on both Zinfin and even XRP because they're the only two major ones tied back to this. But also, I want you guys to understand that a lot of what we are seeing here in a lot of these developments, even with this Finastra update with Fragmos chain, this is cloud-based. This is all cloud deployment. And what's funny about this is that this is through the Fusion Fabric Cloud. That's the same exact integration, like the API integration platform that has a connection with RippleNet. This is all through the Fusion Fabric Cloud. And we do know, of course, with RippleNet, this is an API plug and play. We know that this is also in the cloud. This is RippleNet Cloud. Again, you know, there's a lot of connections here. There's a lot of things that we can, you know, kind of look over, but we still have no 100% confirmation that this is going to happen. But I do want to go over two specific things. One is this video that got posted by ISO2022, Let's Do It, which is Ripple partner ISDA promo video on DLT being used for derivatives. Derivatives market is on the cusp of a technology revolution. Listen closely.
The derivatives market. The derivatives market is safer and more transparent than ever before. But the infrastructure that supports it is complex, disjointed, and costly to maintain. Managing basic processes throughout the life of a trade is manually intensive. Each firm has developed its own way of describing common events, like trade termination, compression, or the exercise of an option. This increases the potential for inconsistencies between firms. Constantly correcting this is a big drain on resources and is not sustainable. Fortunately, new technologies such as distributed ledger and smart contracts offer the potential for greater automation and efficiency, reducing complexity and costs. But effective automation can only be built on standardization. If each technology uses its own set of representations for trade events, then we'll simply recreate the existing disjointed infrastructure. To realize the full potential of these technologies, we need a common representation of trade events. That's where the Isda common domain model comes in. Isda's aim is to create a comprehensive standard digital blueprint for how derivatives are traded and managed right across the life cycle of a trade. The Isda CDN will enhance consistency across firms and platforms, providing a bedrock of standards upon which new technologies can be applied. The derivatives market is on the cusp of a technology revolution. The Isda CDN will help realize that potential.
So there you guys have it, right? As we really kind of look at the derivatives market, it is on the cusp of a technology revolution. Everything around us is on the cusp of this technology revolution. But also, check this out. Here we have XRP with derivatives. What do you see? While this paper focuses on cross-border payments, Ripple and XRP offer the same benefits of cost savings and collateral elimination to all corners of the global financial system. Collateral usage has been on the rise in areas of particular relevance for financial stability. Trillions of dollars are trapped in collateral accounts to support repo and reverse repo transactions. Offset counterparty risk in the derivatives market and minimize credit risk in payment and settlement systems. To give just one example, in the 100 trillion plus market for non-cleared interest rate swaps, 5 trillion in collateral was required to offset OTC counterparty risk in 2024, while the margin for cleared derivatives rose to 455 billion. So think about that, right? 5 trillion in collateral was used to offset the OTC counterparty risk in a $100 trillion market. The derivatives market is a $600 trillion notional value market. Think about that. Absolutely wild. The benefits are clear. They're extremely clear, especially around a lot of these huge markets. I want you guys to understand that, we are seeing the entire world around us changing. And again, even if there's no connection with Fragmos chain, even if it's just using R3 Corda, maybe there's no connection to XRP, maybe there's no connection to XDC, we still do know that these tokens are going to be utilized within very large markets. XRP obviously being utilized around the cross-border payment market. The XRP ledger has incredible use case potential as well. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of great things as well. But I want you guys to all understand that all of this is around API plug and play. Like even the Fragmos chain, it's built upon APIs developed as smart contracts on Corda, right? These APIs are solving breaks for all OTC products, which eliminate paper and produce legally binding confirmations. These APIs could be various different things. We know that RippleNet is API plug and play. We know that even R3, when you look at everything around what they are doing, it's all based upon API plug and play. This is the thing that I focus on even when we talk about quant, because this is the easiest way to DLT and blockchain adoption. And just some of these markets, small percentages of some of these markets could vastly change the way we perceive some of these tokens. Because guess what? The value tied to these markets 24/7, 365 could demand a very large amount of these tokens. It's very similar when I talk about Hedera and HBAR. When we talk about, 10, 20, 50 enterprise applications going live on the network, demanding, a ton of HBAR. It could significantly change the value simply because of supply and demand. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.